Set there, nice dig by Rachel Fairbanks, back row for the Panthers. Penn State gets on the board. And there's Russ Rose, got his 106th NCAA tournament win last night. And the Nittany Lions win over Towson in 4 sets. And of course, most all-time wins in the tournament among all D1 head coaches for Russ Rose. And there's Serena Gray with a wonderful attack. And despite the effort in the back row from Jenna Hampton, the Panthers get the point from Gray.
Watch this, the quick set, the block did get up there, a double block, but just going off of the hands, and you could see everyone waiting attentively to see if that ball was going to be able to come over. An excellent attempt by Jenna Hampton there on the back row, just not able to keep it on the court.
Service there from Lexis Akeo, and that one touched over by the Nittany Lions to make it 2-2. Here's Dan Fisher, mentioned that run they had last year in the tournament all the way to the regional final. He is a 2-time ACC Coach of the Year in his 9th season at the helm of the Pitt volleyball program that he has certainly turned around. The Panthers now in the NCAA tournament for the 6th straight season under Coach Fisher. Some trouble there for the Panthers. Gives the point to Penn State.
Solid net play for Penn State, and then a miscommunication there that set a little bit high coming from Lexis Akeo to Serena Gray.
Here's Akeo, sets to Gray. Nittany Lions able to get it over, came off Parker. Akeo set to the outside, Fairbanks gets the point. Nittany Lions mentioned they got the 4-set win over the Towson Tigers last night, and Johnny Parker, who we talked about in the open, leading the way with those 18 kills, also supported by Caitlin Horde, her fellow member of the Big Ten All-First Team. Touched over there in the middle for Penn State by Allie Holland. So, Amanda, as we take a look there at what the Nittany Lions did last night against Towson, what do you like about this team that you saw last night and early going here tonight?
It's all about the consistency for Penn State and moving the ball around. Obviously, you know Johnny Parker is going to get a lot of sets and she's going to get kills, but it's just a matter of can they move the ball around, get a good first contact, and be able to get other hitters involved.
Penn State and Pitt both with a number of offensive weapons to be wary of. And we've seen a good match so far, 4-4, and that's certainly a sight that Panther fans will love to see. Kayla Lund getting in on the action offensively, so picking up her first kill of the night, the 2-time ACC Player of the Year who missed the final 2 matches of the regular season and did not play much last night in the Panthers' win over UMBC. Joust at the top of the net there. Panthers keeping that ball alive. They go outside to Lund. Fired one towards Hampton. Blocked on the right side. They'll try a Donna Rollins again there. And Fairbanks with a strong kill puts the Panthers on top.
What a swing for the freshman Fairbanks. And as we see Kayla Lund looking at what she did most recently in a full game of action against Georgia Tech, and then did not play in those last 2 matches. And then, as you said a moment ago, Jason, we only saw her in the very first set and only playing in the back row at that. So this is the first time that we've seen her playing at the net in a number of weeks.
So that was the first kill for Kayla Lund since November 12th in a match against Syracuse. And great for the Panthers to see Lund back out there, and wonderful to have her back, certainly at this time in the NCAA tournament, taking on the in-state rival Penn State Nittany Lions. Service ace there from Adana Rollins, and Penn State for Rollins. She's seeing a similar foe that she saw last season in the NCAA tournament. That's because Rollins was a Minnesota Golden Gopher. And of course, Minnesota took on Pitt in the second round a season ago. Kayla Lund was a big role in that one, and she gets her second kill of the night there.
And Jason, I'm sure Adana Rollins saw a lot of that in the NCAA tournament last year in that match. And a great job. You see Lexis KO ranging all the way over to that outside pin, and then a great swing, as we've always seen from Kayla Lund, up against the back row defense of Rollins. And
Kayla Lund had 17 kills in that match against Minnesota a season ago. In her career against Penn State, up over 4 kills on average per set. So despite the tremendous talent of the Penn State team, Kayla Lund has been able to fare pretty well against the Nittany Lions in her career. Fairbanks going to set Ende. Ende couldn't quite get the hand on that one. And Penn State now with an 8-6 lead in the first set.
Yeah, early on, the serve of Penn State has been causing some problems for the Panthers passing-wise, and they haven't been able to get a good first contact on some of the balls.
So there it is again, Amanda, that first contact not going in the exact spot the Panthers wanted it, but they do still end up getting the point there.
Yeah, it was not where they wanted it at all, but just an error there by Caitlin Horde. You watch here, the ball just goes over the net, and then no one does anything. Horde attempts to swipe it and swipes air, and the ball just falls right at the net.
Yeah, and well done by Rachel Fairbanks to go up for that one, maybe even faked Caitlin Horde out, thinking that it was going to be on the Pitt side of the net, and landed on Penn State's half for the Panther point, and now they even things up at 8. Caitlin Horde, senior from Lexington, Kentucky. She's a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten player herself, and one of the top blockers in the Big Ten Conference over the course of the last few seasons. And we get an ace there from Kayla Lund, so welcome back to Kayla Lund as she gets her 26th ace of the season.
Let's take a look at this. Everyone just watches the ball. You could see in the back row, that was Johnny Parker going away from the ball on that one.
Lund will serve again. Panthers have scored the last 3 in this first set, but the Nittany Lions stop the run there.
That's exactly the play that you expect to come from Penn State. They get a good pass. Check out Johnny Parker in the back row, getting herself ready, and then launching all the way from behind that 10-foot line you see towards the net.
This time set to Ende, blocked there by the Nittany Lions. Erica Pritchard, she played a big role last night as well.
Interesting to see, though, Jason, we didn't see Erica Pritchard until the second set last night, so they're switching it up and having her play early in this match.
Couture member Monet getting in on the action for the Panthers. She now has 3 kills here in this first set. And so far, it has been just about what we expected. Very even between 2 of the top programs right now in the sport. 13 kills to go with 7 digs last night for member Monet. Attack from Pritchard, dig from Kayla Lund. Fairbanks sets member Monet for the kill.
That time, member Monet had a double block against her as Horde was able to come over and assist on that, but still, member Monet able to find space around that block. You see the double block and then just through the hands of Pritchard.
Swing from Parker. Browski, and then Fairbanks sets Serena Gray. Now Nittany Lions, Johnny Parker earns the kill that time. Johnny Parker, senior from Casstown, Ohio for Penn State, 3 times made the All-Big Ten first team, and has led the Nittany Lions in kills in all 4 seasons there. But Couture member Monet continuing to fire here in the first set. She's now up to 5 kills.
And again, Jason, just hitting at an insane percentage. She's now 5 of 7 for the game.
Member Monet, a player that Dan Fisher told us in early November was playing the best volleyball of her life, and each match she continues to prove that statement to be true. Playing her best volleyball going into the NCAA tournament. It's going to be an exciting matchup to see her going up against this Penn State team as Johnny Parker has her 4th kill of the night there.
And another player who's playing at an insanely high rate with Johnny Parker there, just seeing the whole court and finding the open spot.
The Panthers lead at 13-12. Serve here will come from Lecator member Monet. Set from Blossom to Rollins. She gets the kill. Donna Rollins started every match of the year for the Nittany Lions this season. Got into double-digit kills on 12 occasions. Transfer from Minnesota. Donna Rollins, a player that Russ Rose and Penn State had when she was a camper in 8th or 9th grade. And she made great contributions at Minnesota. Now a nice touch over there from Rollins on that one, and they're going to set her here. And her attack just a bit deep gives the point to Pitt.
And there a little bit of a sloppy play from both teams. Not the greatest volleyball that we've seen all night, but that ball just a little bit wide on the attack.
Serve that time from Serena Gray. Blossom set to the outside, and member Renee couldn't quite receive the dig on the attack from Allie Holland.
Just take a look at the movement on that play from Holland, going all the way from the middle across, and you could see the block, especially Chiamaka Wokolo, just trying to get over there with enough time, but it's so hard to get out to that far pin.
Akeo set to Wokolo. Akeo tries again off the block. Lunde with the swing. Lund with the kill. So it has been a good one so far in Pittsburgh. The Panthers leading 15-14 and seeing some excellent offense on both sides of the net. So early on in the first set, Pittsburgh defeated Penn State 15-14, or leading Penn State 15-14, I should say. They defeated UMBC last night in the first round in 3 sets, led by Lecator member Monet and Chinaza Ende, 25-23 in that first set against the Retrievers. So it took the Panthers some time to get rolling, but once they did, they sure looked like a top 4 seed in this tournament.
They did, and in that second set, you see the final score of 25-13, but they were on a 10-1 scoring run to start that set.
If we take a look at the Panthers, what they've done over the course of the last 5 seasons. Again, this is their 6th straight appearance in the big dance, going down in the second round 4 straight years. Of course, the Penn State Nittany Lions, a familiar opponent, took down the Panthers in 2016 and 2017 in the tournament. And so revenge certainly on the table tonight for Pittsburgh as they look for their first ever NCAA tournament win over Penn State.
Yeah, Jason, I saw a couple of social media messages earlier on the Panthers feed with some former players saying it's time for some revenge against this Penn State team.
That is for sure. The Panthers did get a win over Penn State a couple seasons ago, but prior to that, the Nittany Lions very successful against the Panthers. So Pittsburgh trying to flip the script here in the state of Pennsylvania when it comes to volleyball. And they get a much needed point there to go up 17-15. The Nittany Lions had defeated Pittsburgh in 16 straight matches before Pittsburgh got the win in 2019, and it was a sweep at Rec Hall. So it has been a great rivalry that we've seen develop, but so far, the Nittany Lions with 3 wins when it comes to NCAA tournament action. Mentioned those two from 5 and 6 seasons ago, but then back in 2003 as well. Penn State seeing the Panthers in the tournament and getting the win.
But the biggest thing about all of those, Jason, that you saw was that they were all at Rec Hall. So this is the first time in as long as anyone knows that Penn State is playing not at Rec Hall in this second round. And they're also not ranked. It was something that we talked about a little bit yesterday with that Penn State used to always being ranked in the NCAA tournament as well.
And of course, important to remind you that this is not where Pittsburgh typically plays their home matches. They play at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse for almost all of their home matches, and that's where they were for all their home matches this season. But here in the NCAA tournament, playing just a little bit down the hill here on campus at the Peterson Event Center, where they have played before. They have played Penn State before, and looking to get accustomed quickly to the beat.
And the great dig there you see from Hampton. Again, she's been all over the court tonight, but really great awareness by Fairbanks to get that. And then the rare block that you see go all the way across the court.
It gives the Panthers a 3-point lead. Impressive hit percentage of .423 for Pitt so far in this match. And point there going to go to Pitt. And with that, Pittsburgh has a 20-16 lead, forcing a timeout to be taken by Russ Rose and the Nittany Lions. So for Penn State, they have been to the regional semifinal many times before, looking to keep that streak intact. And there you have it, 7 national titles, 13 trips to the national semifinals. They have never lost in the first round, and they are the only team in the country to make all 41 NCAA tournaments. 18 consecutive trips to the regional semifinals for Penn State. Last time they didn't make it was 2002, and their success in the dance includes all of those national titles, 7 of them to be exact, in the program history for the Nittany Lions. So, Amanda, this just shows you how unique it is what we're seeing here with this Penn State team. Russ Rose told us, not the traditional year that they are used to having, that he expects them to have a road matchup here in the early going of the NCAA tournament. But we could see history here tonight if Pitt is able to knock off Penn State.
And we very well could, but you can't look aside from what we just showed you, all of those stats as to what they've done. They've been through all of this. All of these players specifically have been through it a number of times, and they faced adversity, especially this season. You look at their record only sitting at, before last night's win in the NCAA tournament, just 20-10. And there's only been one time, and that was last year due to the COVID-shortened season, that they've won less than 20 games in Russ Rose's entire career.
And as strong as they have been and consistent over the years, the Pitt Panthers looking to reach that level and attain that status as one of the top programs in college volleyball. And it has been fun to see the matchups between these two programs over the last few seasons as the Pitt Panthers really start to compete with Penn State when it comes to who is the top dog in the state of Pennsylvania when it comes to volleyball.
And we see Cassie Kirshen coming in, the freshman, to serve here in this big spot.
Serve into that. So point goes to Pitt on the 3rd service error of the night from Penn State.
And I won't count that as an announcer jinx from myself. Specifically pointing out the big spot for the freshman. And unfortunately, she was not able to deliver, but that'll lead the point over to the Panthers.
Nice attack there from Caitlin Horde. Horde gets the kill, which is good for her first of this match.
Horde has been very quiet, but that was a beautiful offensive possession. You could see there a huge hole in the block, And the block also a little bit late getting up, so great job there by Gabby Blossom coming up with the great assist.
KO set to Gray. And looks like that one was out. So point goes to Penn State there to make it 21-19. Pitt on top. Of course, many of these players in tonight's match have seen the opponent before. Kayla Lund and Chinaza Ende, 3 matches each against Penn State, and the kills percent for Lund and the hit percentage for Ende really standing out there. But Caitlin Horde and Johnny Parker have seen the Panthers a couple times as well. And Johnny Parker used to doing what she does regularly against this Pitt team with 3.75 kills percent in those 2 matches.
The big thing about that, you mentioning Johnny Horde there, is if you look at the hit percentage, hitting at a 172 clip, so not really the great efficiency. So that you know she's going to get fed the ball, but what the Panthers have done, even when they've lost the match, is they've really kept her in check as far as not letting her dominate a match. She's going to get the touches, but she's just not having the efficiency against these Panthers as she does against other teams.
So far tonight, Parker does lead Penn State with 4 kills on 400 hitting. So leading the Nittany Lions as she led them last night against Towson.
And again, doing it from all over the court. We've seen a back row attack. You've seen her swing on the outside, obviously swinging from that right pin. And they know how to put her in good positions, and she knows how to put herself in a good position to get a great attack.
So 2-point deficit for the Nittany Lions that they try to overcome here at the end of the first set. Set to Rachel Fairbanks there, couldn't quite keep it in. And we have got a good set on our hands here. 1-point lead for the Panthers as we take another look at Fairbanks' attack.
And a good idea, but you could just see her swiping across the ball and carrying out of bounds there.
KO set to Member Monet, blocked by the Nittany Lions. In on it, Johnny Parker and Allie Holland. And so Penn State ties things up, and Dan Fisher takes a timeout.
What a job by Penn State over these last few points. Doing it in many ways with the offense. You see there with the big block up against Member Monet, who really has done a great job so far this match. She's 7 of 10 with just 2 errors, hitting at a 500 clip, so she's done a great job. But on that point, getting the double block up in the perfect position, and that led to now where we are here with tied at 21.
Yeah, it looked like the Panthers were creeping close to securing this set. Had a 21-17 lead. And the Nittany Lions have since scored 4 points in a row to bring this set level at 21. And so far tonight, this match has been exactly what we expected to see, including what Lecator Member Monet has done. And as impressive as she has been throughout the later portion of this season, already 7 kills in just the first set tonight.
She really started off very strong, and even you saw there with the double block up against her, just putting herself in a great position and then also knowing where the block is. And that's the biggest factor, is even when she sees that she has a big block up against her, she's able to tool it off of that. You saw in her last swing there, it went over the top of the block. So such a smart player for the Panthers, and I expect to see her probably get this ball again.
An outstanding start to the night for Lecator Member Monet, the transfer from Missouri. Member Monet named first team All-ACC this week in just her first season as a member of the conference, and there she is again.
And just like I said, in that rotation, the Panthers were having a little bit of trouble. We saw Dan Fisher a point before the timeout that he called, move everyone around. So you knew that with the players that they had in the front row that they were going to feed her at that moment.
Member Monet, the senior, at 5 feet 8 inches tall. And she's on the serve there with her 8 kills. Member Monet, a KO, setting Kayla Lund. And couldn't get that one to catch the line, so we're all tied up once again at 22.
And that's a tough one, as you really had Penn State reeling because you had that great serve and they weren't able to be in system.
Akeo sets to Fairbanks, strikes that one for the kill.
Wow. What a big swing from the freshman. And the Penn State defense, that was not what they expected, as they have Kayla Lund, the two-time ACC Player of the Year, on the outside, and that left the block completely undeveloped and not ready in front of Fairbanks.
So many Panthers to worry about if you're Penn State. As you alluded to, Amanda, you focus on just one, another one will capitalize, and that time a huge ace at a critical moment for Serena Gray. The former Nittany Lion comes up in a big spot for the Panthers, who now have set point as we reach towards the end of this first set, and the Panthers looking to start off with what would be a big 1-0 lead. So Gray now with 1 kill in this match and 1 ace, and we show you what she did a couple years ago, and if you can't spot her, well, that's because she's wearing white. Gray, the transfer from Penn State, took on Pitt 2 times in 2019.
And she had some great matches. You see her stats there between those two: 18 kills, 10 blocks. So coming over, she knew what Pitt was going to offer, and she also knows on the other side what Penn State can offer. But she was a great player for the Nittany Lions. You look at the stats there, hitting over 400 in her career with the Panthers this season, having over a block a set, and a 2-time AVCA All-America honorable mention while she was at Penn State. So a great player that the Panthers got, and a great player in her career at Penn State.
We talked to both coaches about Serena Gray. Russ Rose said that she is a terrific player, also incredibly bright, graduated from Penn State in 3 years, and he is not surprised about the great season that she has had. Dan Fisher said she's a competitor, first team All-ACC this year, and he assured us that this match means a lot to Serena Gray, and also what she can do for Panther Nation and the city of Pittsburgh by avenging the losses to the Nittany Lions in the NCAA tournament over the course of the past 6 seasons. So here comes Serena Gray, an opportunity to be the hero here at the end of the first set. Just had an ace prior to the timeout. And a nice serve there once again. Back row attack from Parker, blocked, and the Panthers take set 1.
What a huge moment for the Panthers, blocking Johnny Parker with the back row attack to finish the first set. Huge momentum going into the second set for the Panthers.
So Pittsburgh, the winners of set 1 in this clash between the two Pennsylvania programs at the top of college volleyball. 25-22, the final from the first set. More exciting volleyball to come right after this. Well, so many great sports teams here in Pennsylvania and so many outstanding rivalries, and this one right here becoming one of the best. Pitt and Penn State in volleyball, as we take a look at what they've done since 2017 between Pitt and Penn State. It has been an outstanding rivalry to develop over the course of the last few seasons, including a home-and-home in 2019 where the Panthers took down Penn State in a sweep at Retcom.
And the biggest thing about that, Jason, it was the first loss for Penn State in non-conference play at home since 1986. The dominance that they've had at home is truly incredible when you look at it. And then right after that, like, monumental loss, Penn State was able to come here in this building and beat Pitt 3-2. So think about the quick turnaround that they had, and just able to get that out of their minds, reload, and get ready for the next match from Friday to Sunday 2 years ago.
Yeah, Pitt came close to winning over Penn State in back-to-back matches. That 5-set match at the Peterson Event Center in this building in 2019. Had 2 sets in it that were determined by win-by-2 scenarios. Penn State won the first set of that match 28-26. And then set 5, the Nittany Lions clinched the match with a score of 16-14. So it tells you just how close Pittsburgh was to winning 2 consecutive matches over the perennial power of Penn State.
And the Panthers almost lost that easy point coming over. Look at this. Browski has to dive to save it. Fairbanks has to dive to save it. And then who else to finish it but Lecator member Monet?
Yeah, Amanda, she has 9 kills now. The Nittany Lions just have no answer for Lecator member Monet. That time they sent to the middle for Caitlin Horde.
That's a player that this Penn State team wants to get going. And when we talked to Russ Rose, he said, you will know if we are successful in our game plan if we're getting production from the middles. And right on cue.
Member Monet. Once more already into double digits in this match.
Which is crazy to think because we're at 2-1 in the second set and she's already in double figures.
Member Monet seems to improve with every match that she plays. 23 kills, the season high for Lecator this season, and obviously something that we are going to have to keep an eye on if her success continues tonight. Penn State getting the point this time.
And there she just guessed wrong, thinking the ball was going to go out to Johnny Parker, but Gabby Blossom, the really smart setter for Penn State, moving the ball over to Caitlin Horde.
Gray touches over, pancake dig there by Blossom. However, officials say that it hit the floor. And not too much contesting there from Blossom, so assume that she knows that one hit the court as well, and the Panthers take a 3-2 lead in our second set of the night.
Yeah, Jason, getting a pancake's a very exciting moment, so whenever you get one, you can tell the excitement from the player.
And I think even more so when you have a pancake that is stolen away by a bad call from the official, you're even more upset. So expected to see Blossom a little more angry about that one if it hadn't hit the court. It seems like she agreed with the call. So Panthers up by 1 now. Member Monet touched that one over the top. Blossom sets a Donna Rollins, dig by Alexis Akeo. Browski to member Monet, touched over. Blossom, and now a set to the outside for Parker. And Browski gets her hand on it. And this ball is still in play thanks to some efforts from member Monet. Ends with a block from Parker alongside Allie Holland.
What a point between these two teams. I think there's a number of parts of that play that we could replay, but you see the great play there. Member Monet able to keep it alive, and it looked like Johnny Parker was saying that she didn't touch that, but it seemed very hard on that angle for the way it went. There's no way she couldn't have.
Yeah, might have seen a challenge on that had the Nittany Lions not gotten the point, but they did. Panthers respond here and make it 4-3. So Lecator member Monet once again earning the point for the Panthers. Now she is back to serve. Coming into this tournament, member Monet with at least 10 kills in 9 digs in her final 4 matches of the regular season. Rollins with the swing, Akeo to Browski. Browski sets up Lund. Lund with the kill.
And there's the Kayla Lund that we're used to seeing, a big double block up in front of her, but just able to push through it with the incredible torque that she's able to get on her swing. So much power behind it.
So Kayla Lund looking good in her first full match back. Of course, played in the first set last night to a limited extent, but now 4 kills. That's second on the Panthers tonight. And Lund averaging over 4 kills a set in her career against the Nittany Lions in 3 matches. And Fairbanks with a fast swing there on the right side, and that'll get the Panthers the point. Rachel Fairbanks, a tremendous freshman for the Panthers, coming up in a big spot there for Pitt.
And now with 4 kills on the night, you take a look at this. She had no block up against her, but look at the up from Maddie Bilanovic, able to get it up with her chest there, just keeping it alive. And that's a hard thing to do when you don't have any block up against you and that ball's just coming straight through.
Amanda, preparing for all of the different contributors on this Panther attack seems like almost an impossible task.
It is. I mean, at any moment, you're really just guessing what you can do, but no guessing there with Allie Holland in the game, going with that great slide that we've seen a number of times from her, including some last night. So hard, again, as I said, for the block to get set up all the way pushed out to that pin. But as you said, it's very hard knowing so many offensive players can come alive at any time and take over a game, but even if they aren't taking over the game, there's so many contributors that it's hard to block. You can't block all of them.
Set there to Serena Gray for the kill, and she's another one that the Panthers have relied on this season.
The great quick set, and then you can see Pritchard coming over for the double block, but she was late getting over and also late getting up, so that she wasn't able to push over the net, and the ball just goes straight off her hands and down on her side of the court.
3 kills so far for Gray against her former team. Panthers looking to go up 2-0 here after winning the first set by a score of 25-22. Fairbanks too much on that attack.
The Panthers have done a great job, though, Jason, of picking up their defense, especially against Johnny Parker. There's been a number of attacks throughout the course of this second set where she hasn't got a kill because the Panthers have been able to get the pass up.
Certainly different from what Johnny Parker saw last night. Had plenty of success against the Towson Tigers. 18 kills for Parker last night in a 4-set match, and looks like Dan Fisher going to challenge this last call here and try and win this point back.
And it seemed like pretty much every player on the Panthers side, although it seems like that all the time. You always, or whenever a ball goes out, you always don't say, oh, I actually swung and the ball went out. You always say, oh, there was a touch. Someone touched it.
We'll take a look. Remember, call on the court was that this ball was not touched, so we see the swing. And tough to tell there.
I think if you're going to get a touch, it's going to be on Horde, because it doesn't seem like Pritchard was actually close to it because of the angle of the swing, and I think I might see some Horde fingers moving back.
I think we're looking at Horde, and this will be a great angle right here. Keeping an eye on 23 in the Navy, Caitlin Horde right here. Do you see any movement from the fingers right there as we zoom in and get a closer look? And it's tough. I could see this one being overturned. The ball definitely seems to be lower than the top of her fingertips, Amanda.
The biggest factor, as we always talk about with these replays as we look at this great overhead angle, is the call that was initially made on the court. Is there enough video evidence that they see in order to overturn the call that was made? So you think of it the reverse way. If this was called a touch, is there enough visual evidence to see that you would be able to overturn it and say no touch? But right now we're trying to say the initial call was no touch.
And of course, in those situations, also kind of looking for a changing of the direction of the ball. Didn't quite see much of that. And as you said, important to remember that initial ruling was that this ball was not touched, which would award the point to Penn State. But that's the moment we're keeping an eye on right there. The attack from Fairbanks, and coming across the hands of Horde. Do her fingertips graze that volleyball? And
it's also, the other thing is, she is moving a lot initially with this block. Usually with a block, you see someone stationary going down and going straight up, but she's coming all the way across the net. So as the ball is coming by her, she is also moving.
So officials tonight certainly taking their time with this one. Want to make sure they get this right. So one more look here at this camera right along the net. Looking at those fingertips of Caitlin Horde to see if she touched this ball. Officials still taking a look, and if it is overturned, would give the point to the Panthers and make this an 8-5 second set.
And still looking at it.
And this could be a crucial point. Panthers, of course, trying to go up 2-0 over Penn State, which would be an excellent start for them. But the Nittany Lions trying to climb back from that 1-0 hole. And looks like the call will stand. Point given to the Nittany Lions. So the Panthers now with 2 challenges remaining, and reminder that the outcome of the challenge does not affect the team's challenges in the match. So you get 3 whether they are successful or not. And the Panthers use the first of tonight. Kayla Lund responds out of the challenge with the attack there, but looks like it was deep, so the point goes to the Nittany Lions. (7-7) set number 2 here in Pittsburgh. Akeo sets Kayla Lund for the kill.
It's rare you're going to find a time that Kayla Lund misses more than 1 ball. As she comes back strong with this one, we'll take a look to see where the block was. In a great offensive set, as you saw Chiamaka Wokolo go up, which held Caitlin Horde, and that meant that Kayla Lund had just a single block there on the outside.
So Kayla Lund up to 6 kills now. Good start to her night as she returns after missing time and adds another one there.
Tricky play there from Kayla Lund as Caitlin Horde got completely spun around, had her back to the net thinking that the ball had gone behind her, but instead it actually dribbled down right in front of her.
So Lund up to 7 kills. Again, the last match she really got significant time in and played a major role was November 12th at Syracuse. She did play in 3 sets at Georgia Tech on November 19th, played last night in the first set against UMBC, but has not recorded a kill since November 12th. So Kayla Lund certainly going to be pleased with the way her night has started. 7 kills for her, and the Panthers leading Penn State 1-0 in the match. And now in the second set, a lead for Pittsburgh as well. Serve here will come from Gabby Blossom. Blossom 47 assists last night in the win over Towson. Panthers respond with a set to Ende. Blossom outside to Parker, dug by Browski. Member Monet to Ende. That point's going to go to Penn State. Double contact on Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We saw a lot of great defense. You see the dig there from Hampton, and then on the other side, the libero for the Panthers and Browski with the big dig, but just too much movement on that ball from Member Monet. You almost want her to just bump set that one to the outside.
Ende's attack, too much on it. So the Nittany Lions starting to put some offense together here in set number 2 as they take now a 10-9 lead, but the Panthers on top in the match, 1-0. Back in Pittsburgh right after this. Well, we've talked about Johnny Parker a lot for what she can do on the volleyball court, but also very impressed by what she's done off it. Identifies as hearing impaired, something her family discovered at the age of 4, and her sister Paige, her audiologist. She is very happy to have her sister as her doctor, and Penn State has developed a worthy tradition here. Silent set night, in which the fans in attendance at Penn State are silent and they cheer in sign language till the 9th point of the first set. Of course, number 9, Johnny Parker's uniform number. And so she has overcome tremendous adversity throughout her life, Amanda, and in her volleyball career.
And incredible for what she's been able to do and how it does not impact her whatsoever in the type of volleyball player that she is. And great on the part of Penn State to do something like that, to showcase her and showcase anyone who might have similar issues to her with their hearing. So you see the instructions there, all the letters, all the different things you can do for applause. So credit Penn State and credit what Johnny Parker's been able to do.
And you can see Johnny Parker plays with hearing aids. She started playing volleyball at the age of 11 and has worn hearing aids throughout her career. And one thing she says is really special about that silent set night is that, you know, those who suffer from hearing loss don't always get to hear those cheers from the crowd in the volleyball atmosphere, especially at a place like Rec Hall at Penn State. So it makes that experience very special for her, and she has started a nonprofit called Chasing Greatness, organized to support persons 18 and younger with hearing loss by creating funding opportunities for hearing aids and the enhancement of life skills. Has Chasing Greatness tattooed on her wrist as a reminder each and every day to go ahead and not let anyone to stop you from doing what you want and what you set your mind to. And Parker has been a shining example of that on and off the court for the Nittany Lions.
And so far, coming out of that timeout, we've seen a couple of back and forth points, some great volleyball action still going on.
So back here in Pittsburgh, 12-11 lead for Penn State as they are really starting to find some momentum here in the second set. Of course, caused Dan Fisher and the Panthers to take a timeout moments ago. And starting to see the Nittany Lions get into their rhythm, which makes them such a dominant force in college volleyball. Chinaza Ende with the attack that time. Browski digs, Fairbanks, cross-court set to Member Monet. Another dig there from Stark for the Nittany Lions. Parker touches over, diving dig by Rachel Fairbanks, sets up Member Monet. Blossom tries Parker again. Browski, heck of a dig there. Lund from the back row. And Kayla Lund finishes that long rally with a Pittsburgh point.
And a big cheer from the crowd on that one. As we'll take a look at part of this play again. Huge digs on both sides, especially Browski. And then the soft touch, just finding the perfect hole on the side for the Panthers. You see Parker trying to go after it, Hampton as well.
The Panthers temporarily stop a little Penn State run there as we are in the middle of the second set. And now here to serve for Pitt is Emmy Klicka, freshman from Novelty, Ohio. As we have a stoppage here on the court, as the officials are stepping over to the monitor, perhaps to take a look at something on the last point here, and it was a long one. So wouldn't be surprised if there was something in there that they wanted to take another glance at.
Yeah, anywhere in there you could look for a net call or anything along those lines to see if something like that happened. Seemed pretty quietly though. All of a sudden, it looked like we were going to move to the next point, right. And then the next thing you know, the officials. Actually, the first thing I saw was the Penn State team kind of moving over to a huddle, and I didn't think there was a timeout called, but the challenge called instead.
Well, maybe you can't always catch it when Russ Rose uses his challenges. Mentioned yesterday, Amanda, that as much as the Towson head coach Don Metal was moving and walking around, Russ Rose normally staying down in his seat, but gets up here for the challenge. So it is a Penn State challenge, and we take a look at what they might be analyzing right here. So did Ende or Wokolo make contact with the net right there? That seems to be what Russ Rose wanted another look at.
Initially, from the first angle, I thought they did, but it seems more like the ball was the initiator touching the net.
Yeah, always tough in those scenarios to determine whether it was the ball or the players causing the movement of the net. Initial ruling was that the point goes to Pittsburgh and it will stand. So each coach now has used a challenge and neither coach has been successful. Each team has 2 remaining as we get one last view here.
They got awfully close, but somehow were able to keep themselves away from it, even as the ball hit the net and moved it towards them.
So Panthers with the service error coming out of that brief stoppage. So it gives the Penn State Nittany Lions a free point there. Stepping up to serve, Jenna Hampton, senior from Tampa, Florida, second team All Big Ten this season. 14-12 lead for Pitt, kill for Chinaza Ende.
Beautiful sequence there from the pass from member Monet, kind of leaning forwards. The amazing back set from Rachel Fairbanks. You see there from the 10-foot line in the perfect spot, and then Chinaza Ende with the cut shot inside of that block from Holland in the middle.
So it was a 2-point lead for the Nittany Lions. Panthers getting the kill to pull within one, but Penn State responds with Johnny Parker, who now leads all members of her team with 6 kills tonight.
That was a play where Serena Gray got caught guessing. She thought the ball was going to be set to the middle, which left a single block on the outside as she was trying to make up for it.
KO set to member Monet, who has quieted down a little bit here in the second set after an incredible first set from Lecator.
Jason, I think she heard you from up here somehow, because
she may have.
She said, hey, I'm not slowing down at all. Let me add one more to the stat sheet.
She has now doubled the kill total of anybody else in this contest. Just mentioned that Parker from Penn State has 6. Well, member Monet already with 12, but follows it up with another service error there from the Panthers. Dan Fisher certainly not pleased, as Emmy Klicka and Lecator member Monet with a couple service errors in just the last couple points here for the Panthers, bringing their total to 5 serve errors on the match. Lund on the attack there earns the point for the Panthers. They pull within 1 in set number 2.
Back and forth we go again, Jason. We saw this in the first set, but right around this point was when we saw the Panthers pull away a little bit. So will it be the Panthers that pull away again, or will Penn State be able to pull away and have Pitt try and come back?
16 ties and 6 lead changes in the first set, and so far similar story in the second set. 7 ties and 3 changings of the lead here in set number 2, but the Nittany Lions looking to maintain the advantage they have now as they go up by 2.
Beautiful swing there from Erica Pritchard. A hard cut shot right on that 10-foot line.
KO sets Lund. What a strong attack from Kayla Lund for the kill. Doesn't look rusty, Amanda.
Not at all, and you could see there again, another blocker's late in Caitlin Horde, and that's a tough ask on the outside for a single block against Kayla Lund.
10 kills for Lund. Panthers follow it up with an ace. So right when Penn State looked like they had an opportunity to pull away in this set, Pittsburgh evens it up once again off the serve from Fairbanks.
You could watch that ball, but you saw it floating back and forth. The definition of the float serve as you watched it go from right to left, so hard as a passer to get your arms in the right place.
14th ace of the year for the freshman Fairbanks, and the Nittany Lions respond.
Nittany Lions love that slide play, and there's Holland that can run it, there's Horde that can run it. Look at the distance that she travels, all the way over from the left side, moving over to that right pin. So hard to defend.
Fairbanks sets over to Ende, blocked by Parker.
Huge moment for Penn State as they saw the Panthers just tied up at 17, then 2 straight points.
Johnny Parker sure can do it all for the Nittany Lions. 6 kills, 3 blocks for her tonight. Fairbanks sets Kayla Lund. Diving dig there in the back by Stark. 2-point lead for Penn State. Wokolo takes advantage. However, that point is given to Penn State, and Dan Fisher can't believe it. Looked like just a normal joust at the net there, but officials saw something that gave Penn State the point right away.
So the problem with that play is that Rachel Fairbanks is in the back row, so she can't contact the ball above the net while jumping, and I think that's what they had to see there.
So yet another excellent battle between Pitt and Penn State, something we are certainly used to seeing, and we saw 2 years ago when these two teams met right here in this building in a thrilling 5-setter.
And Jason, I had the privilege to call this match. It was a long match. I think we almost got up to 3 hours as these teams battled. You mentioned earlier that 2 of the sets extended into extra points as you have to win by 2. And we saw, you see the points there. So that first set went long, then the last set went long. Everyone had 20 points throughout except that last set that only is supposed to go to 15. You see the production that all of the stars in that game had, and then you flip over Serena Gray to the side of the Panthers now. But an incredible match that those two teams had, and that was off of the Friday sweep that the Panthers had at Rec Hall. So great comeback for the Nittany Lions, and that's what we're seeing so far here in the second set as the Nittany Lions find themselves on a 3-0 scoring run.
Yeah, and it shows you how long these players have been so critical for these teams, and of course what is on the line tonight. Well, a spot in the round of 16 to take on the Kansas Jayhawks, who beat Creighton in 4 sets in the round of 32.
Creighton was the first seeded team to fall in the NCAA tournament so far this season there.
Yeah, Amanda, we were talking yesterday. Purdue got down 2 sets to Dayton before coming back to win that one in 5. So the Boilermakers survive. However, Creighton not so fortunate.
And you never know what can happen in this NCAA tournament. It's just like March Madness for NCAA basketball.
Plenty of parity across the country. It has been a thrilling year in college volleyball, and that's why we expect a very exciting and intriguing NCAA tournament here in 2021. And that is exactly what we have seen tonight. It's been an exciting match here in the Peterson Events Center between Pitt and Penn State. First set divided by 3 points. And now the Panthers competing here in the second set. And another tight one.
Watch this single block. Chiamaka Wokolo goes up against the All-American Caitlin Horde. 1-on-1. Huge play.
One serves. And Caitlin Horde takes advantage of that attack. The 6'4" Horde leaping up for that one to give Penn State a 2-point lead in the second set.
It's going to be hard to block Caitlin Horde 1-on-1 2 times in a row. So a great job of Gabby Blossom coming right back to her.
Nittany Lions led 2017. Panthers trying to fight back. Set to Parker, touches over. Fairbanks sets to Member-Manet. Member-Manet. Wonderful effort by Pritchard to chase that one down. Blocked by Ende and Wokolo.
Panthers defense coming alive here in the tail end of the second set. It was an out-of-system play for Penn State, so that you know as the Panthers that the ball is going to go to the outside, so they were able to cheat a little bit, get that block set up in the perfect position.
It is a matchup full of energy, emotion, and intensity. And we have been filled with some great moments in this match so far. Nothing short of our expectations here in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Attack from Parker on the outside that time, and point goes to Penn State to put them up 22-20. Johnny Parker having an excellent night once again for the Nittany Lions.
I believe a member of the Panthers in the front row was in the net on that play, so unfortunate as if they weren't in the net, that point would have went over and we'd be tied at 21 apiece.
So you're right, Amanda, 2-point lead for the Nittany Lions. Attack from Ende, well dug by Hampton. Now sent over. Browski going to set Ende. Ende with too much on that one for the Nittany Lions to handle. Chinaza Ende, her 4th kill of the night.
So much power on this swing from Ende. Again, Penn State out of system. That leaves a roll shot coming over. But then the Panthers on the other side out of system because Fairbanks had to play that first ball So Browski with the great bump set to the right pin.
And Pittsburgh now evens things up in set number 2, 22 all. What a run here at the end of the set by Pittsburgh as they try and go up 2-0 in the match on the Nittany Lions. So Panther faithful here in attendance at the Peterson Events Center, trying to do what they can to help Pittsburgh take a 2-0 lead over Penn State. And of course, well, we just talked about another matchup in this tournament where a team got down 2 sets and came back to win it in 5. So it wouldn't be out of reach for the Nittany Lions, but certainly a tall task to have to go from 2-0 down against the number 3 team in the nation and come back and win it. And so that's what the Panthers are fighting for here in the second set, Amanda.
And you have to think, you just mentioned, Jason, the environment in this as well. So Penn State in their entire NCAA tournament careers have known playing in Rec Hall and having that environment, having that hometown noise, and every time that they get a point, people cheering. So a lot less of that here and a lot more of that against them. So you have to factor that in as well as part of what's happening in this match tonight.
It also serves as proof, Amanda, of just how much the sport of volleyball has grown in Pittsburgh thanks to what this Panther team has done. In Penn State, well, their fans have been on this team for a long time, decades in fact. 41 NCAA tournament appearances for the Nittany Lions in their history. Only team in the country that has made every single one. Lecator member Monet and the Pitt Panthers doing what they can against one of the greatest programs in the history of the sport. And well, we have a set to 3 points here, of course, unless we go to win by 2. 22 all. Parker, dig by Akeo. Browski pops it up. Lund, back row attack. Diving dig there, couldn't quite keep it in. Kayla Lund with the attack from the back row. Good for her 12th kill of the match.
Huge dig from Lexis Akeo on that tremendous swing from the right pin. What a big moment defensively for Akeo. We're used to seeing what she does in support of the offense, but a great job there defensively to keep that point alive for the Panthers.
Pittsburgh on a 6-2 scoring run here when it matters most. They've also gotten the last 3 points in this set. They have not lost this year when having a 2-0 set lead in the match. Kayla Lund, what an effort from her. Akeo all the way over to member Monet, blocked by the Nittany Lions.
You watch this big swing and then just able to keep it alive. So the Panthers out of system. Penn State knows exactly where the ball's going to go in that instance, and huge block from Holland and Parker.
23 all, what a set we have here, and an ace for Penn State at a critical time. Johnny Parker doing it all once again for the blue and whites. Dig by Balinovic. Here's Adana Rollins. Akeo for the Panthers. Browski. Back row from Lund once again. Touches it over. Penn State out of system. They go to Rollins. Blocked up front. Nittany Lions keep it up. Akeo sets member Monet. And it's out. Penn State will win set number 2. It was a seesaw battle that ends with the Nittany Lions getting a 25-23 win.
What a final moment. Lecator member Monet, who's had a great match, just going long. And Balinovic able to get herself out of the way on that one.
So what a start we have had here in Pittsburgh. You're not going to want to go anywhere. This has been a thriller between the two in-state rivals, Pittsburgh and Penn State, with more volleyball to come. The final moments of this match in Pittsburgh. Welcome back here to the city of Pittsburgh, the site of an outstanding volleyball match here in the second round tonight. We're tied at 1 after 2 sets. Pitt and Penn State fighting for a date with Kansas in the regional semifinal on December 9th. So we look at what these two conferences have done throughout this season. The Big Ten is always a force in college volleyball, but the ACC holding their own this year as well, putting 6 teams in the NCAA tournament field, including 2 of the 4 top 4 seeds. Of course, the #1 overall seed, Louisville, and the Panthers, who we see here tonight. But let's take a look at this Cardinals bracket, Amanda, that has 4 ACC teams in it.
Yeah, you look at Georgia Tech on the bottom of that bracket, leading 2-0 against Western Kentucky. Ohio State from the Big Ten picking up a big win, moving themselves to the regional final. And then the one team so far in ACC to fall, Miami, fell to the #16 seed Florida in this bracket.
So all of the seeded teams making easy work of their opponents early on in that bracket. As we take a look at the Wisconsin Badgers, the Big Ten representative in the top 4 in their region. Baylor is on to the regional semifinal. Badgers looking good against Florida Gulf Coast. They are hoping to make the regional semifinal and possibly take on UCLA. As we welcome you back inside the Peterson Event Center, Jason Earl, and with me, Amanda Siley. We have had some fun tonight. This match has certainly lived up to expectations.
It's had everything you could ever imagine. A ton of offense, and then also on the other side of that, some great defensive plays that we've seen, great serving. And it really has been about some players that we knew we would talk about, one of which is Kayla Lund for the Panthers. And we expected her to play. We didn't know how much, and she has played a lot and played well. 12 kills on 18 attack attempts, hitting at a 556 clip, but she's done it all. You see here 2 service aces that she's had in this match, and then with the defense, so an all-around performance from Kayla Lund. And then on the other side of that, Johnny Parker for Penn State. We've talked about her a lot last night. We're talking about her tonight, and she's produced a lot from the back row tonight, which we knew we would see as well. They love to give her the ball from the back row. It creates mismatch opportunities in the back row for the defense, and some blocks on her side. Kayla Lund leading the Panthers in hitting percentage. Johnny Parker tied for the team lead in kills. Not hitting at the great percentage, but you know she's going to get fed the ball tonight more.
And Amanda, if there were ever a doubt about how important Kayla Lund is to this Pittsburgh team, well, she has put that to rest tonight. After missing time at the regular season, comes back in this match when it matters most against Penn State. And as we saw there, 12 kills, tied for the most of anyone in this match at the intermission. As we look at just how close this has been, set 1 decided by 3 points, set 2 by 2 points, and Amanda, the difference perhaps lying in the attacking errors.
Yeah, a lot of balls just hit directly out of bounds by the Panthers, not touching any hands, just going completely out of bounds. So that's been a big problem for them. They're going to look to figure out how to fix that moving forward.
That's exactly how set number 2 ended. A set to Lecator member Monet, and her attack went too deep and gave the Penn State Nittany Lions the win in set 2 off the attacking error.
We've seen a number of great defensive plays, and Wokolo again for the Panthers coming up big with another solo block.
Chiamaka Wokolo played a big role last night for the Panthers as well. She had 7 kills on 778 hitting in that one. Wokolo following up her solid performance last night with 2 blocks so far in this match. Fairbanks set to member Monet, blocked by the Nittany Lions. Gray keeps it up. Now Blossom, over to Rollins. Fairbanks, Serena Gray, dig by Blossom. Hampton sets to the outside for Parker. Lund will try again from the back row. And now Rollins once more, blocked by Gray and Ende.
Great rally between those two teams, Jason. Some front row attacks, back row attacks, everything you could want to see, and then finishing it with the big block. And that's a true double block there, as I think that hit the hands of both Ende and Serena Gray.
And that is certainly a challenge to hit past the block of a couple first-team All-ACC players, and that's exactly what Serena Gray and Chinaza Ende have done this season.
Great for Horde, though, to get her started. The problem is that every time that she's been getting going, she's had to come off the court and then get back into the rotation.
Caitlin Horde, maybe a slower start to this match, but she's now all the way up to 8 kills in this one. And Serena Gray starting to get going here for Pittsburgh as well. She's got her 4th kill of the match there. Gray with a .375 hit percentage to go with those 4 kills. Also a block for her tonight. Blossom sets Rollins. Member Monet lays out for the dig. Akeo sets Lund for the kill.
Watch this dig, Jason, from Lecator member Monet, laying all the way out. Look at the perfect position she puts that in, right at the 10-foot line. Lexis Akeo has her full hitters available to her and pushes it outside to Lund.
And once again, the Panthers plagued by the service error. So we talked about the attacking errors, and they have 16 of those tonight, but the serve errors have also been an issue as well for Pittsburgh. Now they're 7th of this contest. So Nittany Lions look to capitalize. Serena Gray with a lot of juice on that attack, but well dug by Hampton. Akeo tries Gray again. Joust at the top. Gray touched it there with Holland. Set to Lund. Now Blossom with the dump. Akeo read it and kept it in. Lund deep on the attack. A 17th attack error for Pittsburgh.
Just all those moments where they're in such a great position to keep the momentum, and then they serve it out of bounds, and then they hit it out of bounds.
Lund gets the kill there, her 14th tonight, and so we see some of the serving numbers that we have witnessed so far tonight in this one. Panthers with 5 aces, but also those 7 service errors. So giving 7 free points to the Nittany Lions, but also some good moments in there as well, Amanda.
And those are the ones that just frustrate a coach more than anything, because there's no blockers in front of you. There's nothing happening. It's just you and the ball.
Now tied at 5. What a strike from Johnny Parker. Well defended by Pittsburgh. Slide play to Holland. Dig by member Monet. Fairbanks sets to Lund. Yes! What a display from the 5th-year player, Kayla Lund from Pasadena, California, the 4-time All-ACC first-team star with 15 kills.
It's going straight through that double block on that back line.
Rollins had her swing blocked. Now Fairbanks for the Panthers. And that is a point for Pitt.
You talk about the errors that we've seen for the Panthers. Penn State on the other side of that with some, and look at what Kayla Lund has done in her career against Penn State. 50 kills, and then tonight with a big 15 and hitting at such a great efficiency.
Yeah, and I think that's what stands out, Amanda. Entering tonight in her career against Penn State, Kayla Lund had a hit percentage of just 197 in her matches in the NCAA tournament. But in the NCAA tournament second round match tonight for Kayla Lund, a hit percentage of 500 against Penn State to go with those 15 kills. And you see as well a 227 hit percentage against Penn State in the matches against the Nittany Lions, and now hitting 500 in this one, having an incredible display in her first full match back after missing time.
Penn State really needed this point as Serena Gray was on a roll, and she almost had this pass, but because of the tip by Wokolo at the net, she kind of separated her hands, and then the ball just got stuck.
An error there from Rachel Fairbanks. Now Pittsburgh up to 18 attacking errors tonight. Pittsburgh had just 14 in last night's entire match against UMBC. And that was a 3-setter against the Retrievers, a sweep for Pitt. Wokolo sends that one over. Blossom sets to Parker, and Johnny Parker gets the point for Penn State. Parker with her 8th kill tonight.
We saw a mini run from the Panthers, now a mini run from Penn State to come back to even this game up at 8. Beautiful set. And then the double block up against Parker, but just tooling it off of that outside hand of Kayla Lund.
3 straight points for the Nittany Lions. Panthers try Lund. Member Monet from the back. A KO going to set Kayla Lund once more, and that time it works.
The things that Kayla Lund can do with her arm, I don't know how she does it sometimes. I mean, that one was like side off the top of her head.
She has been gracing the ACC with that ability over the last 5 seasons. First player in the history of the conference to repeat as ACC Player of the Year. She went back-to-back earlier in her career here as a Pitt Panther. And wow, has she gotten rolling here in Pittsburgh tonight.
Jason, do you think she knew we were talking about her? Because she just came up with an amazing block on the outside.
Well, Amanda, the thing is, she doesn't just do that when we're talking about her. She seems to do it all the time. Propels the Panthers to what is now a 10-9 lead after the serving error there. And Amanda, it seems like all match tonight we have not had a set that has been divided, these two teams, by more than 3 or 4 points.
And I think that's what we would have anticipated coming in here with these teams so competitive.
Every single set so far has been tight. And we now, once again, in what seems like the millionth time tonight, have a tied score. Mentioned all the ties and lead changes in the first set. The second set also had 10 ties and 5 lead changes. In this third set, already 7 tied scores, 3 lead changes. And we will now see a lead change here as Penn State continues a little run to go up 11-10 in set number 3. The Nittany Lions have it going here in the third set. And what a block from Penn State. They lead 11-10 in the third set. Well, if there's one stat you can point to tonight that may be the difference, Amanda, it's the attacking errors for the Panthers. They certainly want to be more efficient in that category.
It absolutely is the biggest problem because you're looking at just handing points away, and some of them have been tough swings that look like they're going to go in, but a lot of them have just been the Panthers working too hard to go around the block. And then when you're trying to go around the block, there's not that much space, and then the only space that you have is out of play.
Penn State, a very good defensive team. 2.84 blocks per set on the season for the Nittany Lions. That's good for top 10 in the country. So makes it tough for the Panthers to keep that ball in play. And of course, probably a cause for the challenges the Panthers have had attacking so far tonight. 11-11 here in set number 3 in Pittsburgh. Rachel Fairbanks and Pitt almost able to keep that attack alive, but Erica Pritchard earns the point for Penn State. Pritchard now with 5 kills in this one on 625 hitting. 2 blocks for her as well.
Pritchard has been one of those quiet players that we've mentioned her name a couple of times, but she's just been the model of efficiency.
Fairbanks one-handed set to Wokolo. Now Blossom to Parker, blocked by Member Monet. Pritchard, there she is again, blocked. Wokolo and Ende.
And there she is, and there it goes, down on the court. Watch this. We saw a one-handed set on the other side, a one-handed dig on the side of Penn State. And then the double block for the Panthers coming up big.
Gabby Blossom, of course, a great passer, but also second on the Nittany Lions in digs per set on the season. That time she sets Pritchard. Vasquez Gomez trying to get ahead on the hot attack there from Pritchard, but couldn't quite keep it in the air.
And Vasquez Gomez had just come into the game going right at her. Great recognition by Penn State, seeing that she had just checked in for the Panthers.
Vasquez Gomez did have 7 kills and 11 digs last night. Actually led Pitt's team in digs against the Retrievers. But a rough start to her entry into this match on that last point. And now Penn State goes up 14-12. And although there are certainly plenty of Pittsburgh fans in the building, you can tell, Amanda, that some Nittany Lion fans made the short drive as well.
They did, and they love what they're seeing on that sequence with 2 blocks against Serena Gray.
Nittany Lions up by 2. We're in set number 3. One-handed set from Fairbanks, but Kayla Lund saw the opportunity and took it. Dan Fisher upset with the call. Fairbanks was, of course, trying to set Serena Gray. Horde may have reached over that net and taken it.
That's a tough play when you look at it at the top of that net.
So nonetheless, Nittany Lions earn the point to go up 3. Nice diving dig there by Hampton. Parker sent it over. Fairbanks sets member Monet, trying to get her back involved again, but Jenna Hampton very strong on the defensive side, and it comes in handy for the Nittany Lions once again.
Usually we see Blossom from the back row. As we take a look at this from further back, the great dig from Hampton, and then Pritchard coming up against the triple block on the Panthers. Critical error there, though. Nittany Lions still up 3, but when you have all of that momentum, you want to keep it going, and with that serve into the net, just an immediate stoppage of that momentum.
Yeah, don't see much more of a momentum killer than a service error. The 5th of the night for Penn State. And just as they were starting to extend their lead here in the 3rd set, opens the door for the Panthers to come back. Horde with a nice touch over the top of the net. Caitlin Horde, the leading killer tonight for the blue and white.
So smart from Caitlin Horde there. She saw the block in front of her, which means that by coming over for the double block, that vacates all the space and leaves it open right behind the block.
Makeo set to member Monet. That's good for her kill and her 13th of this match. (17-14). Has been a classic here at the Peterson Events Center so far. 1-1 in the NCAA tournament 2nd round. Adana Rollins the attack, Fairbanks and Gray on the block. Parker swings, blocked by Gray.
What a moment for the block from the Panthers. You saw it on the right pin and then moving over to the left pin. What a sequence.
So 8 blocks for each team so far tonight in this one, as the Panthers try and come back here in the 3rd set, trailing by 2 right now. Parker, what an attack from Johnny Parker. That one's tough to stop.
It really is, and the Panthers even had a double block up against her, but it was too far out, so that left a lot of space on the inside for her to be able to swing. And a really tough dig attempt for Alexis Akeo.
Johnny Parker with 9 kills tonight. In a match against the number 3 team in the nation, Kayla Lund answers.
Lund with the pass, Lund with the kill, just going directly between the hands of the Penn State blockers.
Kayla Lund with 17 kills. Has not had that many in a match since October 17th in a road battle at Florida State. So despite Kayla Lund missing time at the end of the season, she has come back as if she never left, as the Panthers, being led by Lund, back into this third set. They now only trail by 1. Big point here for the Panthers. Service comes from Serena Gray, and yet again, Amanda, at a critical moment, Panthers concede a point.
And they had just climbed their way back. It was 18-17, and then again, you're handing a free point right over to Penn State when they've had the momentum on their side through the latter half of this third set.
A KO to Lund. Yes, Kayla Lund on fire tonight in Pittsburgh.
It starts off with the pass, though, a really great pass, and then the misdirection there from Chiamaka Wokolo. She goes up, so that leaves a little bit of a gap between the blockers.
Kayla Lund here in the third set with 18 kills, so averaging 6 kills a set, and we are not even through with set 3 just yet. But the Nittany Lions, they have had a multifaceted attack that has been forceful all match long.
Again, starting off with a really good pass, and then Johnny Parker going really high over that block off the shoulder of Fairbanks.
So Johnny Parker becomes the first Nittany Lion in double digits in the kill category tonight for Penn State, but Kayla Lund in a variety of different ways earning points for Pittsburgh.
She loves that, more of a throw kind of swing, because she can just have so much better placement with it, as Johnny Parker was trying to cheat up, and then that left the space.
Lund 19 kills on a 469 hitting clip in this match. Growski gets underneath that one. The Panthers keep it alive. Blossom set to the outside. Kind of misplaced set there from Blossom, but Penn State able to react well. Growski diving save to keep that one alive. Member Monet the attack, and it was touched by the Nittany Lions. We have a tied set at 20-20.
Now it's a game to 5. A really great rally between these two teams. Ton of great digs, and then off of that block.
Resilient effort from the Panthers here in set 3. After getting down earlier in the set, they have fought back to a tied score, but Erica Pritchard earns the kill for Penn State to slow the momentum.
Great swing for Pritchard over top of that block. Now she has 8 kills. Third on the Penn State team, with Hort above her at 9 and Parker in double figures with 10.
Nittany Lions led 17-13 in this set. Panthers fought it back to tied, but now Penn State responding with 2 straight points. Pittsburgh has never beaten Penn State in the NCAA tournament, despite seeing them 3 times in the last 20 years. Ende, what an attack there from Shanaza Ende to put Pitt down by just 1.
It seemed like Dan Fisher wanted to call a timeout before this last play, but didn't, and I think he's happy that he chose that decision, because Shanaza Ende just went off down the line as the block was very late on that play.
So here we are once again in a very similar situation to what we've seen in the first 2 sets. Very tight at the end of set 3. Serve from Valeria Vasquez Gomez. Almost a dig there, and it was sent over by Penn State. Jenna Hampton, a good job on the reception. Shanaza Ende.
I had to sit back in my chair after that one. Wow, what a swing. Just take a moment to take that in, Jason. The amount of power that was behind that swing there from Shanaza Ende.
They have so many players that can do it. Chinaza Ende is a 3-time All-ACC first-team performer. Only 6 kills in this one tonight for her, but it doesn't matter because there are just so many Panthers who can produce on the offensive side. And we have a 22-22 set for the second consecutive set. And Kayla Lund has been huge for Pittsburgh, especially in the third set here tonight.
She has it from all sides. You look there on the right side with the push, and then again at her natural outside, just going directly through the block and kind of falling away, able to find a hole. She just is able to maintain such good body control that she can get a solid swing on any ball that she set.
So we look at her numbers against Penn State. Now we have to remind you that September 22nd match in 2019 was a 5-set match, Amanda. 23 kills in that one. She has 19 tonight, and we're not even done with 3 sets.
It's incredible what she's been able to do. And again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but it's with the efficiency that she's hitting. 19 attempts, or 19 kills on 32 attempts with just 4 errors. So she's hitting at a 469 clip.
Absolutely incredible display from Kayla Lund, leading the Panthers in this one with those 19 kills. And now serve comes from Valeria Vasquez Gomez. That's such an important time. Panthers take the lead.
Really strong swing from Horde, but she had to go onto the side of the block, and that left not a lot of space there.
Pitt with the last 3 points here in the third set. They try to keep the momentum going. An ace from Valeria Vasquez Gomez. Panthers with 4 straight points, leading them to set point in set number 3 at the beat.
Jason, these are the moments that Coach Fisher told us about. He wants to keep his players fresh enough and get game action so that they can come in at any time and perform. And that's what we're seeing right here from Valeria Vasquez Gomez. We haven't seen her barely at all through these first 3 sets. She comes in a little bit to play defense, and then the huge spot that she's put in to come in and serve and do so well from the service line with so much pressure.
Valeria Vasquez Gomez causing problems for the Nittany Lions with that serve. She gets her 10th ace of the season on this beautiful service to give Pitt set points.
And it's that float jump serve. You saw it moving from side to side. And then at the last second, because of the way she contacts the ball, it just loses all momentum and just drops. So you could see Hampton seem like she was in position to make that play, but because of the way the ball is moving off the hand of Vasquez Gomez, it just dies right in front of her.
It's the 3rd Pitt ace of the set in their 8th of this match. And what a moment for the Panthers to make a run. The Nittany Lions had a lead earlier in this set, 20-18. Ever since, Panthers have gone on a 6-2 run to get us here, 24-22. They've got set point, and they are looking for their 2nd straight appearance in the regional semifinal. Valeria Vasquez Gomez has led Pittsburgh to 4 straight points. Tries again here. Blossom sent to the outside for Pritchard. Kayla Lund, Chinaza Ende. There's the kill. Pittsburgh is 1 set away from advancing.
You gotta love it. Senior to senior, Kayla Lund with the setup for Chinaza Ende to finish this last point. Take a look at it here. The pass by Fairbanks, then Kayla Lund with the set. Ende up against the double block off the hands of Johnny Parker and down.
The dynamic tandem of Kayla Lund and Chinaza Ende. Leadership, athleticism, and talent from this Panther duo. Led by Kayla Lund, 19 kills in the match here in Pittsburgh, and a 2-1 lead for the Panthers. Seems to love playing in big-time matchups, averaging over 4 kills a set in her career against the Penn State Nittany Lions. So what we're seeing tonight from her, nothing out of the ordinary.
especially against this Penn State team. You look at the game on September 20th at Penn State with 19 kills, and then 2 days later coming back, getting a match high 23 kills against Penn State. And look at what she's done tonight. Leads all players with 19 kills, hitting at a .469 clip. And Jason, we're through 3 sets, and she has 19 kills. Just 3.
Absolutely tremendous display from Lund. She is now 2 kills away from matching her season high, and we are only through 3 sets. And she is trying to lead this Pittsburgh Panther team to the regional semifinal where they would meet Kansas next weekend. An unbelievable atmosphere here in Pittsburgh, where the hometown team, the Panthers, are now 1 set away from avenging previous losses to the Nittany Lions in the NCAA tournament and advancing on to the round of 16. So we begin the 4th set tonight with a serve from the star, Kayla Lund. Member Monet on the attack. Lund kept that one up, and Wokolo misplaced the set.
No one home there on the set attempt. It was a pretty set, but it pretty much went to the up judge there.
And Wokolo, of course, not used to setting all that much. More of a blocker and attacker, of course, for the Panthers. Member Monet on the swing that time.
And that's a player that's used to attacking the ball, Jason, as well. She was a little quiet there in the 3rd set as Kayla Lund came alive, but she quietly has 15 kills on the night and also hitting at a decent percentage up above 270.
So Valeria Vasquez Gomez will serve here, and of course she was the hero at the end of the 3rd set, really leading the Panthers to a run there to get the win in set 3. And there's Serena Gray staring in the eyes of her former teammates and earning the block.
And you could see the down judge saying, all right, you can celebrate, but not quite that much. The single block.
And if you think she is invested in this match against her former teammates, well, you'd be right. And the energy having its effect on her play here in set number 4. Serena Gray, the former Nittany Lion, coming alive here.
And it's infectious with the rest of her team, too. You could see the excitement from them, and that really builds momentum.
All the emotions wrapped up in this match here tonight on display, impacting this in-state rivalry between Pitt and Penn State.
And the transfer, Erica Pritchard, puts a halt to that with a great swing from the right pin, going over top of the block, off the hands, and then just out of reach of Vasquez Gomez.
3-2 Panther lead in set number 4. Panthers lead the match 2-1. Member Monet with her 16th kill of tonight.
Jason, watch the hands of Rachel Fairbanks. This is a quick pass that comes to her. Beautiful set to the outside. And then Lecator member Mene getting up as always.
Nice set and a nice attack from Adana Rollins for Penn State. Making it 4-3 here early in set number 4.
And I just talked about a great set from Rachel Fairbanks on the side of the Panthers. That was a pretty one there from Gabby Blossom, as she has 31 assists tonight so far.
And Kayla Lund with a miss hit there off the attack. She knows it, high fives her teammate Member Monet.
Quinn Menger coming in off the block, the lefty, with the great serve across the court to Lund.
And I suppose she can be forgiven for one mistake so far tonight, Amanda. She's had a pretty good night, has helped the Panthers out just a little bit in this one.
Yeah. But the Panthers can't have too many mistakes, as Penn State has been able to capitalize on all of them all night long. We talked about it earlier with the attack errors, but they can't let anything slip away as the Nittany Lions are quickly on a 3-0 scoring run.
Serve there came from Quinn Menger for Penn State. Serena Gray has been a force in this fourth set, and it is a new Pitt Panther every set, Amanda, and now Gray decides to take her turn.
Yeah, 5 kills on the night and 4 big blocks. We've seen a couple of them here in the fourth set, so she knows how to rise to the occasion in big moments.
Couture member Monet to serve here. Member Monet, 26 aces on the year for her. Now she sends it over. Blossom couldn't quite catch the fingertips there of Allie Holland, who went up on the attacking attempt. And Panthers earn the point there.
And there's just a little miscommunication, as Holland was going toward Blossom on that play, and Blossom thought she was going to be a little bit further away.
What a dig by member Monet to get a hand on that one, but floats out of bounds there. A strong attack from Penn State.
A great swing on the outside from Adana Rollins. We've seen a few of them so far here in the fourth set from the transfer.
Rollins now with 4 kills in the match. There's Rachel Fairbanks, dig by Hampton. Akeo set to Fairbanks, the kill.
You gotta love the confidence of Lexis Akeo going back-to-back sets to the freshman on the right side in Rachel Fairbanks. And you can see Johnny Parker there after that, looking at her hands like, I was right there.
The freshman Fairbanks coming alive here at the end of the season for Pittsburgh. She did not record a kill all year until October 31st against Virginia Tech. And now Fairbanks playing a critical role in NCAA tournament action as just a freshman with 5 kills in tonight's match. But Penn State responds once again, tying it up at 7. And Amanda, it's been Adana Rollins here in this fourth set for Penn State.
It has. That's her 3rd kill here in the fourth set so far, and Penn State only has 7 points. So really coming alive here in this fourth set for the Nittany Lions.
Talk about the different number of options for Pittsburgh offensively. You could make the same case for Penn State. So many attackers that are worthy of attention, and very tough to focus on all of them at the same time. Akeo set to Kayla Lund, and she's deep on that attack, giving the point to the Nittany Lions. Akeo sets Fairbanks and couldn't quite keep that one in. Point Penn State.
It's that pesky problem for the Panthers. Those attack errors, 2 of them back-to-back.
Akeo, back set Rachel Fairbanks, blocked by Pritchard.
Look at Pritchard get up on the single block. Holland guessed wrong to the outside.
Double contact there from the Panthers. And when you have a margin as great as 4 in a match like this, good cause for a timeout. Dan Fisher takes one. Penn State leading 11-7 in the fourth set. So as much as we've loved this match here in Pittsburgh, want to show you what's going on around the country. And in Louisville's region, of course, the top left corner of the bracket, Cardinals, the #1 overall seed. All 4 seeded teams in that corner moving on to the round of 16. And only one set conceded to non-seeded opponents in that first round. And the ACC this year putting 3 teams in the top 8 of the seeding. The Panthers in action here tonight, looking to become the 3rd of those 3 teams to advance on to the round of 16. Peterson Events Center, Jason Earl and Amanda Siley with you tonight. We have had some fun in this classic match between Pitt and Penn State. Nittany Lions led by 4. Fisher called a timeout. Panthers come out of the break, and Kayla Lund earns the point for the Panthers.
And now Lund with 20 kills, doubling up any player on the side of Penn State, as Parker only has 10.
(11-8) lead for the Nittany Lions. Joust at the net. Fairbanks dives, tries to keep it alive, but Kayla Lund couldn't quite send it over. So leads to a 4-point advantage now for Penn State.
A tough play there at the net, and you look, a 6-1 scoring run for the Nittany Lions. Really coming alive here.
Penn State with 3 players now with at least 9 kills. Johnny Parker, Erica Pritchard, and Caitlin Horde all have at least 9 in this match. And Kayla Lund, however, is so tough to handle, providing some offense for this Pittsburgh team. And now earning her 21st kill of the season, matching her season high. And we are only halfway through this 4th set, so she picked the perfect time to have her season high in kills. Could not come in a more important match than this one for the 5th-year player Lund. So 12-10 Penn State. As Kayla Lund gets set to serve here once again. And error there, as that one was out. We'll show you the previous point as we see what happened here. Lecator member Monet coming down with an awkward landing there. Stepped on the foot of Caitlin Horde.
Yeah,
you see that left ankle.
And Horde came way over under the net there. That's a dangerous play when you talk about underneath the net, but a dangerous player for the Panthers in Shinaza Ende coming up with a big kill, as Penn State has really held on to the momentum here in the 4th set.
Member Monet giving her a celebratory friendly push there, signaling that she is okay after that collision underneath the net. And Panthers now make it 13-11. Service from Vasquez Gomez, who has proved to be effective in the serving department tonight. Fairbanks the dig. Kayla Lund goes outside to member Monet. Panther point.
Take a look at this swing from member Monet. Great defense there from Rachel Fairbanks. The back set from Kayla Lund, and then member Monet able to get out of the way as that block came out of bounds.
Lecator member Monet up to 17 kills tonight after having 13 last night in the first round win over UMBC. But Penn State there stops the temporary run from the Panthers to regain a 2-point lead. 2 Nittany Lions in double-digit kills are Erica Pritchard and Johnny Parker. Parker has been quiet as of late, despite leading the team in kills last night. Still tied for the team lead in this one, but have seen her calm down a bit in the last couple sets. And Parker there tried to take advantage of the overpass, but Panthers respond well. Horde touches over, dig by Lund. Fairbanks to the outside. Member Monet blocked by the Nittany Lions. They'll try Lecator once again. Blossom. Now Hampton sets up Parker. Once more to Lecator, member Monet. That time it works. Third time's the charm for member Monet and the Panthers. So once again, Pittsburgh trying to fight back as we see how many times this match has been tied, and of course has changed leads so many times throughout the evening. each and every set has been tight, and it has lived up to all the hype coming into this one, Amanda.
It really has. We've seen everything you could possibly imagine from both teams.
Gray and Jordan Lockwood there on the right side for the Panthers, teaming up for that one. Haven't seen Jordan Lockwood so far tonight, but she is into the match now, the senior from Friendswood, Texas. Lockwood and Gray teaming up on that one to make it 15-14. And the Nittany Lions respond with a kill from Johnny Parker, who's getting back in on the action.
Just when you need a kill when you're Penn State, Johnny Parker comes up clutch at that right pin, swinging all the way across on the inside of the Panthers block.
And came off a tremendous back set from Gabby Blossom. Blossom top 15 in the nation in assists per set this year. Akeo one-handed set to Gray. Now to the outside, Parker. And Penn State point.
Panthers with another one of those errors, putting themselves in the net when that point could have continued had they stayed out.
(17-14) Penn State. However, don't assume anything just yet. We have seen the Panthers in this spot before, and they have been able to climb back. The Nittany Lions with a 4-point lead here in set number 4, and Dan Fisher will take a timeout here to talk things over. Panthers lead the match 2-1, but would love to come back and find a way to get this thing done in 4 sets if possible. You see the senior leader, Kayla Lund, urging on her team. The Panthers have a leader in the senior class of their own in Penn State with Johnny Parker trying to urge the Nittany Lions to close out this set. And in this 4th set, we have seen Erica Pritchard start to come alive for the Nittany Lions.
And again, it's those players that you don't really know about as much as the big names that are really taking a big factor in this match. Pritchard has been great with the long swings. She's able to hit the ball off the block, as you see there, but also really hit those deep corners, which is very hard for any defense to try and go up against. As you see tonight with those 10 kills, hitting at a great percentage, 529. 3rd most career kills among active Big Ten players, as she had a great career at Maryland and is a 2-time All Big Ten first team player.
Spent 4 seasons as a Terrapin. As you said, 2-time All Big Ten first team. And didn't get too involved last night against Towson. Pritchard with just 4 kills on 333 hitting in that one, but has really come alive tonight in a big-time matchup against the Pitt Panthers here in the 2nd round.
Jason, we also didn't see her as much. As I said earlier, she didn't even play at all in the 1st set that Penn State had against Towson, so seeing a lot more action tonight is when she did come in against Towson, she was able to produce some big spots.
Yes, had only 4 kills, but only 9 attacks in that match last night for Erica Pritchard. Akeo sets Serena Gray. Penn State doing well to keep it alive. Now Browski, Akeo over to Member Monet. Member Monet taps it over. She has her 19th kill tonight.
Another good rally between these two teams, and Member Monet just picking her spot, seeing what the defense gave her, and knowing that she had that middle open.
18-15 the lead for the Nittany Lions in set number 4. 2 sets tonight have been decided by 3 points, and 1 set decided by 2 points. And it's certainly looking like we'll see a similar score here in set number 4, as the Panthers now make it 18-16.
Big double block on the outside up against Johnny Parker.
Member Monet serves again. And misplaced ball there from Stark, but Penn State, well done to keep it in play. They set Lockwood, Jordan Lockwood, with a great time for her first kill of the match.
Just the depth of the Panthers coming in huge. As Jordan Lockwood, you just said it, hasn't seen any action except right now here in the fourth set. And she's able to come up with a big kill.
3 straight points for Pittsburgh. We saw them fight back in set number 3 and get a win in that one, trying to do the same here. Set to Adana Rollins. Akeo, Kayla Lund. Panthers trying to tie things up. Hampton over to Parker. Browski sets the leader, Lund. Penn State responding once again, this time with Parker. What a job by Lecator member Monet to keep that one in play, but the Panthers just can't finish it out. Nittany Lions stop the momentum, take a 2-point lead.
So close to keeping that point alive. Lecator member Monet laying all the way out, but then the miscommunication in the middle between Gray and Lockwood, not sure who is gonna get that ball over.
Service error from Johnny Parker. Panthers will take the free point. Brings it back to just a 1-point margin in the fourth set. The Panthers on the brink of taking down the Nittany Lions in 4, but still work to be done. Trailing by 1 in set number 4. Here comes the serve from Serena Gray. Set to Holland. Gray gets on the floor for that one. Lund keeps it in the air, but Penn State gets the point as Serena Gray lifted the ball.
Almost a great defensive play by Serena Gray, but an amazing pass by Stark, ranging over, and then a good set. Great decision to put that in the spot as Serena Gray was in serving. So not the typical back row defender that Penn State would see in the back row.
So we've gone back and forth over the course of the last few points here. 2018 lead, Wokolo changes that.
Starts with a pass, quick set, no block up. That's game over for Chiamaka Wokolo if you don't get a block up against her.
Haven't seen quite the same production from Wokolo as we did last night when she had 7 kills, but contributing in an important moment there for the Panthers. 2019, they'll try to bring things level. Fairbanks' serve is long. And you can see the frustration from Pitt head coach Dan Fisher as he watches his team make their 11th serve error of the match. Penn State now responding. Fairbanks set to Wokolo on the slide.
That's the exact kind of response that you needed, though. Rachel Fairbanks a little bit down on herself, but had to come back right after that to make this set. Look at the pass again from Lecator member Monet. The great set to that pin, and then Wokolo able to get it between the block.
Chiamaka Wokolo coming alive in set number 4. Panthers trail by 1. Horde's attack, and the officials award the point to the Panthers.
It was a low set there, so Horde really didn't have a chance to get the ball over the net and close to the hands of a Panther blocker.
And we are tied in the Peterson Event Center. Panthers 4 points away from taking the match, but Penn State looking to prevent that, and they add a point there.
There's Erica Pritchard again, coming up in a huge spot here. As the single block, Chiamaka Wokolo gets wrong, and that left Chinaza Ende out by herself.
Fairbanks to Ende. Wokolo from the floor keeps it in the air. Member Monet deep on that swing. And Dan Fisher is pulling out the challenge card. And you could see some Panther players stand up on the bench and approach Fisher, telling him to pull that out. And we will get a glimpse here of what they might be looking at.
I think from the motions that I saw down on the court, it looks like they're looking for a net call against Penn State. I think probably on that last block attempt.
So I think they might be looking at whether there was a touch here. And initially ruled that there was no touch by the Nittany Lions. Of course, this ball landed out.
Maybe looking at that moment, because that was a really high swing from member Monet on the outside.
And that seems to be what they're looking at right there. Caitlin Horde up on the block for Penn State. Did she touch that attack from Lecator member Monet? And challenges always can be set changers, but especially in moments like this, approaching the end of set 4. Trip to the regional semifinal on the line. This is a critical call. And not sure, Amanda, if there's enough there to overturn the initial ruling, which was Penn State point and no touch.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest factor, is the way that it was called on the court. We'll take a look from this angle. Because Horde got up late on that block.
And it is so close. Really tough to tell from that angle there, which again makes it important to remember that the initial ruling was that this ball was not touched. Have to see clear evidence in the review here in order to overturn the call initially on the court.
Look at it from the top. I think that's going to be a really hard angle with the block being straight up to be able to tell from this top angle.
So the call will stand. Penn State gets the point. Dan Fisher uses his second challenge of the night. He has one left to use for the rest of this match. And so far, we've seen one challenge from Pittsburgh, or two challenges rather from Pittsburgh, one from Penn State. All three have been unsuccessful so far tonight. Fairbanks sets to Chinaza Ende. What a response from Pittsburgh.
And that's what Chinaza Ende has done through this whole season and through her whole career with the Panthers. Coming up in big moments, and the block late from Caitlin Horde, so that left Pritchard on the outside all alone against Chinaza Ende.
23-22 Penn State. Serve from Valeria Vasquez Gomez. She was huge at the end of the third set. Attack from Pritchard, too much on it. 23-23. Pittsburgh, they can almost start to taste it. They're 2 points away from advancing to the regional semifinal. And that possibility alone forces a timeout by Russ Rose in Penn State.
And really, Jason, this has been a game of errors from both teams at incredibly big moments. When you think about everything that we've seen, all the different momentum swings have all been propelled by errors, whether it be a service error, a blocking error, a hitting error.
It has been an incredible match. A tremendous one-of-a-kind atmosphere here in the Peterson Event Center, where the Pittsburgh Panthers hope to keep on rolling in this NCAA tournament. They have never beaten Penn State in the Big Dance, trying to pull that off for the first time here tonight. They took set one, 25-22. Penn State, the winners of set two, 25-23. And Pittsburgh coming away with a third set win of 25-22. And they are hoping to take on the Kansas Jayhawks in the round of 16 set for next weekend.
And you talked about it earlier, that big match at the bottom, Purdue coming back. Dayton took a 2-0 lead in that match, and they had to come all the way back. Purdue's been very strong in the Big Ten this season. Kind of one of the surprises, as Penn State was picked third, and then Purdue came up and was able to get themselves above Penn State in the Big Ten.
$23-all in set number 4. NCAA tournament second round. Vasquez Gomez with an excellent serve and an ace for the Panthers.
And how does she do it in these moments, Jason? She did it just a set ago, and now here again.
Russ Rose using his final timeout because his team is 1 point away from elimination. Would be the first time since 2002 that the Nittany Lions don't find themselves in the regional semifinal. And Valeria Vasquez Gomez has been clutch in the final moments of the last 2 sets.
It's all with the float serve. As I talked about earlier, it's moving from side to side, and the momentum of it just stops. And that's where you could see Pritchard, where she had to dive at the last moment to try and get that ball up.
The Pittsburgh Panthers, as they hope to repeat what was a magical run in the NCAA tournament a season ago, will come out of this timeout with match point here in the Peterson Event Center in what has been an instant classic between the in-state rivals. Match point for Pitt. Service from Vasquez Gomez. Lund on the dig. Fairbanks sets member Monet, tapped over, kept alive by Parker. Now to the outside, blocked by the Panthers. Revenge night in Pittsburgh. The Panthers are moving on to the regional semifinal.
And you can hear the crowd in this building, Jason. They've wanted this for a couple of years, and they did it. And they did it with defense to finish it with the big block. And we're gonna have to hold on the celebration. Russ Rose has a challenge in his pocket, and he's pulling it out. No net violation called on that block, and they're gonna try to see if there was a net violation.
And of course, when the alternative is losing the match, you may as well use it. But Amanda, I have to say, I don't see anything here.
That seems like a very, very still net.
Russ Rose with a desperation move here to try and keep Penn State in this NCAA tournament. They have not missed the regional semifinal in 18 years. Officials, of course, going to make sure they get this one right because the outcome of the match depends on it.
Take one more look.
No movement at all, Amanda.
I don't see. I mean, the closest thing that I think that got to the net was Serena Gray's leg as she got up really high on that block.
So Russ Rose and the officials temporarily interrupting a celebration here in Pittsburgh. They are taking a while to check this one out, seeing if there's anything else on this play that they might be looking at. Still there from Ende. You don't see much movement of the net, but maybe there on the way down, you see Chinaza Ende and perhaps that net fluttering a little bit.
Tough call on either one of those instances.
So officials still taking their time. If the call stands, Pittsburgh advances to the round of 16. Looking at Chinaza Ende on the right side, her hair seems to touch the net there. And so that's what the officials seem to be looking at. And we await the call here from our official. Whole match riding on this outcome. Point awarded to Pittsburgh, and Panther fans can continue to hail because Pittsburgh continues to dance on to the regional semifinal.
What a match between these two teams, Jason, and why not take an extra couple of minutes at the end to see the outcome? What can you say about this Penn State team, what they were able to do this whole season, and then what they were able to do tonight? But the Panthers, too much offense for the Nittany Lions.
So let's get one more look at that final rally and the match clinching point for the number 3 team in the nation.
Big dig from none other than Kayla Lund, and then why not finish it off with a big block from Serena Gray against her old team. All the storylines we talked about. Take a look at it from another angle. The big swing, the dig from Johnny Parker. And then Stark on the right side, but nothing going between the two transfers up at the net in the biggest moment of the season and one of the biggest moments in the careers of both players and for this entire Pitt program.
There's a new powerhouse on the volleyball scene in Pennsylvania, and they hail from Pittsburgh. The Panthers are on to the regional semifinal to take on Kansas, their second straight season, making a trip to the round of 16. So that's what we have to look forward to, and if it was anything like tonight, I will sure be tuning in the Purdue Boilermakers on the bottom half of the bracket there, waiting to see what happens on top. So a tremendous match we saw here tonight in Pittsburgh. For Amanda Sile, producer Kevin Wheeler, director Mike Nice, and the rest of our outstanding crew, we thank you for joining us here in Pittsburgh, where the final score is the Panthers 3 and Penn State 1. Look forward to the rest of the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship throughout the remainder of this season. Finally from Pittsburgh, where the Panthers are victorious, good night.